So this is a tutorial on how to update PushPay, our mobile app. And PushPay is actually a solution for online giving. But part of what we have done with that is, or part of what PushPay offers, is a customizable mobile app. And so, especially in the wake of the pandemic, we've been really grateful that particularly for Pastor Claude's leadership in going this route of, we had some other options that wouldn't have included a mobile app. But I think the mobile app provides opportunities for sending out notifications to our congregation for anybody who has the mobile app. And it also allows us to provide links and kind of a rundown. It can kind of serve even as a Sunday morning bulletin, so to speak, so that people can have a rundown of what songs are coming up, what scripture readings are coming up, what sermon series we're in, all those sorts of things. And so what we're going to do is do kind of a weekly update. I'll have another couple little pieces to add in as well. But we'll do kind of my weekly run of things to do with PushPay. And so the way this works is that the whole scope of the week is that we get together and we plan a Sunday morning worship service, and then we'll add that plan into Planning Center. Then the next thing that we do, we kind of build that off of, we'll update our website with all the hymnal sheets that we might be using, since people, some people do have hymnals at home, but not everybody does. And even if you do have one, it's awfully nice to be able to click link after link after link and have access to that hymnal page, so you're not searching through that in the middle of the worship service. You can just tap on it and it's right there. And so we'll update the website in doing that. And then we build this social media interactions page. And I shared how to do that in another video. And then we move to PushPay. And so I'm going to show you how to access the mobile app suite and how to make those changes. All right. So in order to get into the PushPay app, you'll notice that I have the social media interactions, and that's because we're going to wind up copying and pasting these into the app when we're ready. But you'll want to open up a new tab here in Google Chrome, and the web address is mas.pushpayapps.com. And there is a memorial at memorialumc.com email address, and also the youth director email address. And so my recommendation would be to get that password from the office for the memorial at memorialumc.com address, and then you'll sign in. And what you'll find here, assuming you've got the screen large enough, is this is a representation of what the app looks like. So it'll show you the phone, and then this is the menu for how you edit those things. So this is the home screen, and similar to our website, if you click in here, it will go directly to those portions of the app. And so all these things, if you open the app on your phone, it'll look like this. So for our purposes, again, we're going to need to have some information on here. This will actually be, this coronavirus update will actually be something that we will want to update pretty soon, because we do have some updates as well. So we'll want to update that. And in order to update that, you saw how I clicked through that. So from our home screen, I'm just going to click on this section. Maybe read more. What happened here? Oh, there we go. Okay, so from here, over here is just a list of these home screen features, I guess. So you'll click on coronavirus update, and then you'll click on this editing pencil here, and you can change, this is again whether or not it's visible in the app. So this season of Lent is something we used through February and March leading up to Easter. We don't need it anymore. We might need it again next year. So we, instead of just deleting it, we can kind of just make it hidden and come back and edit it later. So for the coronavirus update, we'll come down here to the list and again click that editing pencil. And when we update it, we can change the date, all those sorts of things. This is the icon, is this heart plus thing. In order to change this icon, each icon here has a code, and so this heart plus is the code for getting this this particular icon in the menu. So again, whenever you open this in the app, you'll see this heart plus icon right there. So this is what people see. And so in order to change that, if you need to know, PushPay has added a whole database of these icons, and that's going to come in handy. So if you click on that in a new tab, it'll open up, and there's just list after list after list of this massive list of different icons that you can use, which is pretty handy. So if we wanted to start uploading pictures of events or something like that, we could potentially just add that camera icon or whatever the case may be. And then in order to change that, you would copy that and paste it into this, where this icon is, this, what do you call that, a painter's palette. You can change that to the handbag and it'll change the icon. We don't want to do that, and so we'll change that back. I'm not quite ready to change that yet, but that's how you do it. You click on the pencil to edit any part, any portion of our app. And you'll want to just kind of cycle through here and look at all these different things that are going to invariably need to be updated. So for example, the who we are section and the meet our staff section, I'm going to need to be taken out of here within the next 2 weeks or so. And so in order to take something out, you would just grab it and drag it over to the phone. And if you drop it in this wastebasket, it'll remove it from the list. And then you can add that back in. You see this icon here. These are all items. And so our draggables are over here. And we can add this in. We actually have a John Smith that's already been added. And again, you can tell that these are non-visible things. Now down here, we have a new item. And it is visible. And then you can add and change that. And so if you click up here in the white space, John Smith is suddenly there. And if you hide it, John Smith is suddenly not there. So let's take a look then at mine. And there is a photo here. If I wanted to change that photo, I'd first delete this photo and then drag in an image to right around here. If you just drag it in, it'll show up. I guess I just took that out. It's okay. Not going to be important in 2 weeks anyway, so no big deal. And you'll notice here it says 8 pending changes, make it live. Similar to the website, unless I click publish, it won't do anything. If I don't click make it live, if you log on to the app right now, nothing will change. My photo will still be there. Nothing will have changed at all. But as soon as I click that, it'll start the process of syncing up. So that's basically, over here are the things that you add in. So you drag from here into the list of things that you want to change. Most of the time, so the containers will, you'll see these, that all these icons are blue. These are things that'll have things within them, and so even the places, that'll have you, that'll allow you to add links from a map, those sorts of things. Containers will allow you to add items, contact information, all those sorts of things, websites, and all of that. But right now, I want to talk specifically about Sunday mornings. And so, as I mentioned, PushPay can act as an app, or act as a bulletin rather. And because it can act as a bulletin, we have a section of our website called This Week in Worship. And if you click on that, it'll show you exactly what this last week's worship service was like. So when we got to this portion of the worship service, people can go through and click these links, and so this is what it winds up looking like. Again, you have these musical links and these reading links and all of that. So we'll wind up adding or changing that. And in order to do that, we again have our social media interactions page up. And we'll just go through and change what we need to change, and add what we need to add in this case. And so we're going to take our first link and copy, and then we'll highlight here where that first link is, and we'll paste. And this is going to be Ephesians 6:4. Make sure I've got it all backed up there. And then after that, we'll have an opening prayer, but then we'll have a song. We'll copy and we'll paste. Oops, didn't want to paste it there. We want to paste it where the link is. So the label will go where it says website label. And the link will go down here. And of course, people will see the label. They'll see the title of the song, but they won't see the website. Even still, if they tap on that, it'll take them directly to the website. And by the way, you'll also notice that over here it says open externally. And I have all of these clicked because the app itself doesn't really function as a Bible app. The app itself doesn't actually function as a picture viewer or anything like that. So we're sending them directly to our website. We're sending them directly to Bible.com, or wherever else we need to send them. So I make sure that I have that clicked so that it doesn't try to open it within the app. There is some functionality there, but it's not that great. So make sure those are clicked. Also, if I needed to change, if this wasn't a reading, and this is just the icon I chose, if I wanted to change that icon, I would double click here. And then again, you have the icon value, and that icon value, if you alter that using one of these icons, then you can just copy and paste that. So whenever I start to do this, I'll add in, or I'll keep this open as a separate tab, and that way I have easy, quick access to that if I need to change it. And once I've changed that, I can click that little green check, and it'll go back to the way it was before. So here we go. Now we're at Psalm 103:13 through 18. Now, so if I went directly to that, the next icon is a song. So what I'm going to actually do is come over here, and I'm going to find the website icon, and I'm going to add that in as well. Now that'll automatically add to the bottom, but I'll drag it up into between joyful, joyful, we adore thee, and I'll type in Psalm 103:13 through 18, and I'll grab that URL and paste it in there. Again, I'll make sure that it's clicked, and you'll notice this icon is automatically a cloud because it's a website. And so what I'll do, a little quick thing, is just to copy and paste it from right here, because it's a reading, and we've been using this icon for readings. Somebody else may have a different aesthetic. It's fine. I won't be offended if you want to use a different reading or a different icon, but just copy and paste that into there, and then hit the green check mark. All right, so then the next song is "This Is My Father's World." Oops, I'll capitalize world. And we'll copy and paste. Again, I'm hitting Control C to copy and Control V to paste, but you can also right click and hit click copy and all that. Great are you, Lord. We can go ahead and grab that, see copy. Great are you, Lord. And we'll, oops, and we can paste. The sermon scripture this week is Proverbs 23:24, and that's in the NIV. And I actually only put in fact, typically we don't put the sermon scripture in here, but since I did last week, I'll go ahead and put it in again this week. Typically, I wouldn't even bother with this part, which version it is, because Alex always, unless otherwise noted, he always uses the New International Version. So it's just kind of, at this point, somewhat sort of known. But also we're linking directly to that NIV. And so I've got to come down here and find that I've got to find that for real. So I'll open a new tab and go to Bible.com. Proverbs 23:24. Make sure that I've got it in the NIV, which I do. And there we go. We can just copy and paste. And then that's done. And then the last song is "Oh Come to the Altar." And we've got the lyrics to that up here. And we'll copy and we'll paste. And then we'll click up here. And now we've made a bunch of changes. And so similarly, you don't want to make too many changes without saving it. So you'll click Make It Live, and then you'll click Make It Live again. And you'll see that it's synchronizing, and it'll say it's safe to close your browser. Until it's done synchronizing, you can't really move on to the next step. And I will show you the next step as soon as it's done synchronizing. So we'll just kind of wait and see what takes place here. By the way, this is the give portion of the app, and so this will kind of give you the giving link for folks, just kind of to show you around a little bit. Here in the connect portion, it's like this sends you off to a Google form. When people, you'll notice that the image, you can choose which way you want it to be seen. Similar to here, you can choose which way, but you almost want to use the way the image looks to determine that. So when you click the first time visit, you've got a campus map, and you've got a first time guest form. That campus map was done using, let's see, Scribble Maps right here. And I just kind of created that. That might wind up needing to be changed. That's kind of a tutorial all on its own. But anyway, that's the plan your first visit. There are Google Forms and those sorts of things. Because I just clicked around there, I've got to update it again. But then up here in the menu, this app design, this is where we are. So that's to change the content of the app. This is where it is. But there are some other things as well. You can look at analytics. I haven't really done much with the help and training, but there are helps and trainings available. And so if you click on analytics, you can see how many people have downloaded the app overall. By clicking on all time here, you can see we've had a total of 119 downloads since we began rolling out the app. And you can kind of see average monthly active users, total actions taken, and some of that's you can see that in March and April we had our highest users, and it has kind of dropped off a bit. But then you can look at our push notifications, and this is how we get information out to the congregation. And you can look back through our previous messages and how many times our messages have been opened, how many times they've been sent, or to how many people they've been sent. So there's been a total of 1,200 times that somebody has received a message. And if there are any messages scheduled, you'll find them here. If there are any drafts that you've been working on, you can find them here. And at any rate, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build the message, the push notification for this coming Saturday. So I always send that out Saturday at 6, and I'll say something like, "Get ready for Sunday morning worship." And then I'll add a little subtitle, "Live stream starts at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube." Then I'll type a little message of "Good evening, church family. Tomorrow is Father's Day, and we are eternally grateful for our Father in heaven and all of the men." I guess I don't need to dictate this to you as you're watching me type it, but you get the point that it's something like this. And I'll just keep talking because I can't talk and type at the same time. So we'll wind up adding in Facebook links and YouTube links, and I'll show you how that goes. And then we'll also add in an in-app link, which is right here, and I'll show you how to do that. So first thing we'll do is we'll add in 2 websites, and then we'll add in, it says drop action here. So whenever you want to drag something in, you'll want to drag it in from there. Now, when you drag in-app link, it doesn't show up right here. It'll show up down here below. And so first thing we'll do is we'll change the label here, and you can see it changes it right here. And it adds this cloud little link, and same thing here. Suddenly it says YouTube instead of website. And I happen to remember by now what the code is for this icon. It's custom-Facebook, all no spaces. And then similarly, custom-YouTube, and that's the YouTube icon. And we'll open it externally. And we want to be sure that we add in the Facebook links, and YouTube links. And again, I remember what those are, but they're also in our social media interaction. So down here at the bottom, if you have friends or family who are unable to watch live, you can always send them this link. And so this is our link to our video page on Facebook. So we can copy that and paste it right there. And if and for YouTube, we'll copy and we'll paste. And it doesn't matter that those are longer URLs or anything like that, because nobody sees the URLs themselves. But as soon as we send this out, people will be able to tap on those and access the channels. So down here, we're going to type in the button label, which is This Week in Worship. And then we're going to select the link destination, which that link destination is going to be in Sundays, because this is a Sunday morning thing. Oh, let's try again. There we go. And This Week in Worship. And so you'll want to select This Week in Worship. And then if you look back up here, you'll see there it is. So if I change the label title, This Week, you can see right up here, it'll change. All right. And then if you have an image, if Pastor Alex has an image for the week, or if there's a graphic for the sermon series or anything like that, you can upload that image here and it'll appear at the top. So you'll want to make sure you have it on either on Google Drive or on the computer that you're using. I don't have one for this week, and so I'm just going to kind of keep on going to the next thing. So I clicked Next. And it comes to who our audience is. Who is this message for? And so I guess if you left it blank, it would be the entire app audience. So anybody who has that would have it. But if they're subscribed to specific categories, then you'll use I would drag all the categories in. But even just dragging them in will add this plus sign. If you don't click those, if there's not a check mark beside it, the folks who are subscribed to these categories won't ever get that. And so I'm actually going to change that. And typically, I haven't done this before, but I'll leave it to the entire app audience and see what happens here this week. But you have that opportunity. I haven't messed with the geofence at all. But I'll add it to the entire app audience. And then you have who or when it's going to be scheduled. So we've done what, we've done this portion that has the content, the who it's going to be sent to, and now the when. We don't want the sent yet. If you send it too early, people, but we will go ahead and schedule it for, don't be fooled here. With PushPay, they start with Monday instead of Sunday. And so we'll come over here to Saturday and we'll schedule it for about 6 p.m. on Saturday, not too late, but not too far away that people can forget about it either. So then we'll schedule it. And now it's in this upcoming portion. So if I come back up here to Overview and then click on Upcoming again, it'll say it's coming up in 4 days. So it's scheduled and ready to go. And I don't have to worry about it again. This got sent out last Saturday, like clockwork. So as long as I have it scheduled in time, I haven't always gotten it scheduled in time, but if it's scheduled in time, it'll go out right before or right at 6 o'clock. And right around there, sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. Sometimes it'll come to my phone at like 6:12 or something like that. But pretty close to 6 o'clock, everybody who has downloaded the app and who will receive push notifications will get a notification that says, get ready for worship. So that's what we've got with PushPay, and that's how to do that. If you got any questions, find out how to get in contact with me.